Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May I invite you to stand for the national anthem of Jamaica. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the closing ceremony for the deployment of renewable energy and improvement of energy efficiency in the public sector. This has been a collaboration between the government of Jamaica and the UNDP in supporting our healthcare sector and supporting that nexus between health and energy. So I have had the pleasure over this last couple of years of being a member of this project board and seeing the development that has taken place on this. And at this time, I'm going to do something very unusual that I don't normally do. I'm going to say all protocols observed. And by that, what I mean by that is all COVID protocols have been observed. All right? So nevertheless, we will move into the formal protocols which we will now observe. In that regard, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a very warm welcome to the Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, the Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, to Mrs. Denise Antonio, the resident representative of the UNDP in Jamaica. We also have several other distinguished guests with us today. We have project partners representing the Development Bank of Jamaica. We have Ms. Deborah Newland. We also have members from the Ministry of Energy. We also have beneficiaries, project beneficiaries, in the persons of the CEOs of a number of our hospitals. We have here the CEO of this facility that we're in currently, Ms. Jacqueline Ellis, CEO of the Sir John Golding Rehab Center, as well as the National Chest Hospital. We have the CEO of the Bellevue Hospital, Ms. Marcia Campbell. We also have with us the regional directors of the Southern Regional Health Authority, the Western Regional Health Authority, and yes, so we have our Regional Health Authority directors here with us. We also have representatives of the UNDP office, members of staff, representatives of the Bureau of Standards, the Climate Change Division, etc. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I welcome you to this event. It's been a very long journey. It has had a lot of productive and substantive impact on Jamaica's health and energy sector. And as I indicated, the nexus between health and energy, saving energy, demonstrating the benefits of energy projects and renewable energy and energy saving projects in our country, and we do expect that those lessons will be taken forward. There's been training, there have been programs developed, there's been capacity building in a number of entities. So without further ado, and in the interest of time, ladies and gentlemen, I now welcome the first speaker for the afternoon, Mrs. Denise Antonio, to bring greetings on behalf of the UNDP. Mrs. Antonio. Let's have a round of applause. Thank you.
The Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of State, Minister of Science, Energy and Technology. The Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Minister of State, Ministry of Health and Wellness. Our MC, Mr. Edson Calvert, General Manager of DBJ. Other representatives from DBJ, the private sector, our regional representatives, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all of you. As we gathered in this space, partly powered by solar panels, I am reminded of my former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon on a statement he said about sustainable energy, and I quote, "Sustainable energy is the golden thread that connects economic growth, increased social equity, and an environment that allows the world to thrive." So energy is the lifeblood of the economy, just as water is important to life. However, energy must be clean, sustainable, and affordable to everyone. It should transform and enhance the quality of lives, especially those that are at risk of being left behind. Jamaica's heavy reliance and high cost of imported fossil fuels no doubt puts a strain on its national budget and diverts much-needed resources away from social programs, quality health care, and education. But it also limits the government's ability to accelerate diversification of energy mix in Jamaica with an expansion of renewable energy. Jamaica has significant renewable energy potentials, as reflected in the increased target of 50% renewable in the National Energy Policy 2009-2030. I commend the government for the successful implementation and outstanding results attained that have furthered the goal of diversifying the energy mix, increasing the penetration of renewable energy, and promoting energy efficiency. These achievements must be expanded so that sustainable universal access can be delivered to and for the benefits of all Jamaicans. That is why I am honored and delighted to participate in this momentous event to officially close the deployment of renewable energy and improvement of energy efficiency in the public sector, funded by the Global Environment Facility, the Development Bank of Jamaica, and the former Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, and this was valued at $1.25 million. Implemented in partnership with these key stakeholders, UNDP welcomed opportunity to contribute to Jamaica's development through the implementation of energy efficiency and renewable energy initiatives in 6 hospitals: Bellevue, Black River, Maypen, National Chest, Savannah Lamar, and here Sir John Golding. Our collective aim was to contribute to reducing the public sector energy bill while advancing efforts towards low-carbon development. The project complements the work of the government in advancing the SDG 3, which is good health and well-being, 7, affordable and clean energy, and 13 climate action. People and planet-centered development are the core of UNDP's work, and we believe that sustainable energy can help to transform healthcare, education, create decent and reliable jobs, and vibrant business opportunities. Through this project, solar energy and energy efficiency systems were installed and commissioned in these 6 public hospitals. Capacity was built in the public sector, and the policy and regulatory framework was strengthened that governs the development and deployment of renewable energy and energy efficiency technologies. Finally, and critical to the project, it sought to establish a sustainable financing mechanism, the Energy Services Company model, to catalyze and sustain investments in sustainable energy through public-private partnership. Although this vital milestone was not achieved, the groundwork has been advanced, and a compelling recommendation emerging from the project's evaluation is that the government should strongly consider establishing a national sustainable financing mechanism towards future investment in sustainable energy. With such a mechanism being uncommon in the Caribbean, I believe that Jamaica, this is an opportune time to seize this innovative financing model and stand as the pioneer in this region. Later on, you will hear more about the project's achievement, but like in any situation, the project has had its share of challenges, namely the procurement of the renewable energy and energy efficiency systems to meet required specification. Thankfully, this was resolved through the use of UNDP's long-term agreement with international companies under our UNDP Global Procurement Facility in Copenhagen. We remain at the disposal of the Government of Jamaica should similar needs arise. At this juncture, I am delighted to officially hand over the solar PV and LED system to the Government of Jamaica. Through the mix of renewable energy and energy efficiency systems installed at these 6 hospitals, it is projected that the government will realize an estimated savings of 54 million Jamaican dollars annually. Echoing the call of my current Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, for the transition from fossil fuels and towards a clean energy future, a future that protects people and planet and promote prosperity, he cited 3 vital reasons to choose clean energy. The first is health. Worldwide, outdoor air pollution is causing close to 9 million early deaths every year and shortening human lifespan by an average of 3 years. The second is science. There is ever-growing evidence of the increasing toil of climate disruption. And last, but certainly not the least, economics. Per kilowatt hour, solar energy is now cheaper than coal in most countries. This is still achievable. That is why UNDP is grateful for the long-standing partnership with the Government of Jamaica and will continue to partner and collaborate so that no one is left behind, that every Jamaican can achieve his or her fullest potential, that every household can afford clean energy services, every community and public space can be adequately lit, every business can access clean and affordable energy to be competitive, economic growth is not hampered by high energy costs, and transportation is world-class, fueled by clean energy. Sustainable energy will illuminate a low-carbon path for Jamaica to be the place of choice to live, work, raise a family, and do business. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Thank you very much for those remarks, Mrs. Antonio. And as a Jamaican, I also extend our thanks to the UNDP for facilitating this project and the impact it has had on those 6 health centers that you've identified, as well as the other initiatives that you'll hear some more about in this program. So could we again have a round of applause for Mrs. Antonio? Thank you. At this time, again, we're pulling together the nexus, that connection between energy and health. So we need our health to have energy, but energy also supports our healthcare system and supports our health. So there's a very close connection there. At this time, the beneficiary of this project in Jamaica has been the Ministry of Health and its agencies. So we're inviting at this time to give remarks our Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Mrs. Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn. So let's have a round of applause to welcome Mrs. Flynn. Thank you.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Good afternoon, everyone. And definitely cleaner energy is best for our health. The Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Ms. Denise Antonio, Resident Representative of the UNDP Jamaica, Mr. Tenny Daly, Project Manager, Ms. Deborah Newland. I also see members of the Southern and Western Region Health Authority, specially invited guests, members of the media, and ladies and gentlemen, everyone, good afternoon. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm pleased to participate in this closing ceremony and bring remarks on behalf of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. We are indeed very pleased to be beneficiaries of this project, as we can clearly see the long-time positive impact it will have on our healthcare system and our country in general. We all know that with improved energy efficiency at our hospitals and health centers come reduced operational costs, which translate into savings for the government and the people of Jamaica. We heard how much that is, $50-something million, which is quite a bit of money that we're saving. There is also a reduction in our contribution to greenhouse gas emissions, which means that we're playing our part in resilience building amidst a changing climate, as well as improve air quality and general public health. In short, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at a win-win situation for stakeholders with the execution of energy efficiency and renewable energy measures and supply and installation of equipment that guarantees energy efficiency and renewable energy savings at our health facilities. So on behalf of the public health team, I wish to express our gratitude for the support given to May Penn, Savlamar, and Black River Hospitals and the Sir John Golden Rehabilitation Center where we are today. This program fits in perfectly with Government of Jamaica's commitment to realizing a public health system that delivers on the ambition of Jamaica's vision for 2030 National Development Plan to ensure the provision of quality health services and also to promote healthy lifestyle and environmental practices as we strive to attain a sustained and healthy people and also a healthy environment. Our roadmap to achieving this vision is laid out in our 10-year strategic plan, Vision for Health 2030. And this plan considers and responds to current public health realities, as well as outlines the important role that this partnership that we see here today, play in achieving success in public health. We have activated our 10-year strategic plan and have already made progress in several areas. For example, as it relates to strategic goal 6, making reliable and modern infrastructure available for health service delivery, and we are doing that. We heard the Minister, the Honourable Minister Tufton, mentioning some of those projects. We have made strides towards the improvement of infrastructure to some of our primary care facilities, and I know that my constituency has been a product of that. We've seen many new healthcare facilities right across Jamaica, with new design for 11 of the 13 facilities now being reviewed for final approval. We're also completing the design upgrades and the rehabilitation of several secondary facilities. As new designs are done and upgrade made, we have taken into consideration the energy demand and the energy efficient technologies that would be required in building out our modern facilities. These facilities, of course, would be modeled for clean energy and fuel efficiency. And so I pause here to specifically thank our international partners, the United Nations Development Programme, the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. My commendations too to the project team, as well as a technical administrative team at the health facilities. Today is really a good day for public health, and we again salute our partners for their contribution as the Ministry of Health and Wellness works towards achieving the best outcome for all Jamaicans. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those remarks, Minister Cuthbert Flynn. And it's really heartening, again, as a Jamaican, to hear that the impact of the project will not end with the handing over, but, Minister, that it will, and already there are significant initiatives to further these developments within the healthcare sector, not just in these facilities, but wider. So we're very grateful for that. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I ask you to just give the Minister of State another round of applause for that. So as we further the connection between health and energy and the significant role of energy in our healthcare system, we've heard of the savings, we've heard of the capacity building, we've heard of the additional initiatives that are being built out within the healthcare sector. At this time, we're going to hear from the Minister of Energy, the Honourable Daryl Vaz, who will tell us a lot more about the other initiatives in the energy sector, and really there's a lot that can be said. At this time, please welcome the Honourable Daryl Vaz.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And let me first of all apologize for my late arrival due to a thunderstorm up in the Norbrook Cherry Garden area where I was coming from. I am one of those politicians that respect time and respect people's time. So again, apologies. So, Mr. Chairman, my colleague, Member of Parliament and Minister of State, and of course, Mrs. Denise Antonio, Representative UNDP, who I know very well, and of course, Mr. Tenny Daly, the project manager, and members of the media, distinguished guests. Good afternoon. It is indeed a pleasure to witness the completion of the United Nations Development Programme project aimed at reducing the public sector's energy bill through the introduction of renewable energy and energy efficiency in the health center. Let me commend the UNDP and the entities involved in bringing this project to a successful conclusion. The UNDP has been a friend of Jamaica and a reliable partner in our development efforts in areas of energy and the environment, governance, human capacity development, and poverty eradication. I'm aware through this project, Some 32 maintenance personnel from the health sector were trained in energy management, solar PV operation, and maintenance. More than 5,000 LED lighting solutions were installed at 6 targeted health facilities. Grid-tied solar PV systems were installed at the Sir John Golden Rehabilitation Center and the Maypen and National Chest Hospitals. It is estimated that these interventions will reduce energy consumption per bill in the public sector by 22% annually. Significant. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Jamaica is cognizant that efficient energy use is critical to securing this brighter future. Government ministries and agencies must become models and leaders in energy conservation and environmental stewardship, as stipulated by Goal 6 of Jamaica's National Energy Policy. The public sector is a very large energy user. Air conditioning, lighting, and life-sustaining equipment which are used in the health sector account for substantial energy use. Ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore imperative that the government of Jamaica takes the lead in energy efficiency, conservation, and renewable energy. The World Bank states that the public sector can set an example for efficiency improvements in other sectors. It can also stimulate energy-efficient markets, bring down costs for other energy users, lower emissions, and free up funds for investment for the development priorities. The public sector has received significant interventions such as efficient lighting, air conditioning, and cooling systems through partnerships and the programs of our international partners such as the World Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB. These projects, ladies and gentlemen, have implemented timely energy conservation and efficiency interventions which have resulted in the lowering in the public sector electricity bills and carbon footprint and significant savings to the government of Jamaica. A prime example is now the completed Energy Efficiency and Conservation Program, the EECP, which has resulted in savings of more than US $3 million through the energy interventions across a wide cross-section of government entities. Therefore, we are grateful for this opportunity in partnership with UNDP, which represents another significant step towards energy security, especially within a critical sector such as health. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Jamaica is committed to delivering sustainable economic growth, which is underpinned by the drive to secure affordable and reliable energy supplies for our country. Currently, fossil fuel supplies a large portion of our energy needs, consisting of 90% of our energy mix. Our dependence on imported fossil fuels has resulted in a national oil bill that has exceeded $1 billion annually for a number of years. As a government, we must reduce the spend on imported oil and must diversify our fuel sources. In leading the charge to diversify, my ministry is facilitating the transition to alternate fuels such as natural gas and promoting the use of natural resources like wind, solar, hydro for renewable energy generation. Our 20-year electricity roadmap for Jamaica, the IRP, envisions 32% of generation and net load in 2030 to be met by the renewable energy mix of 49% of generation by 2037. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to build a brighter future for all Jamaicans. An integral part of this brighter future is the provision of adequate, affordable, and environmentally friendly energy sources. We must therefore leverage the combined power of renewables and energy efficiency as a means for diversification and creating sustainable energy supply. With the global population being forecasted to double over the next 20 years and the demand for energy increasing, the challenge of using energy efficiency to prevent loss and waste is critical for building a sustainable future for all. My commendations once again to the UNDP team and your partners for another successful program. Your work in our country has enabled Jamaica to increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. You've heard the connection. We started at the beginning with the UNDP contributing to Jamaica. You heard the impact on our health sector and the initiatives being carried through, the connection with energy, and the Minister has outlined several activities which we do hope the media that is here will be able to highlight, both in our healthcare facilities, Minister, and in the energy sector as well. And the Minister of Energy, Science, Energy and Technology took us right back to partnerships with the UNDP. So again, we're very grateful and we look forward to the UNDP doing lots more projects in Jamaica. So we put that on the table. So ladies and gentlemen, I again invite you to just extend a round of applause to the Minister for that presentation. Thank you. At this time, we're going to be having a video presentation which will highlight for you the impact of this project on Jamaica. So we really encourage you to take a look at this and understand a lot of the initiatives that are happening in our country. So without further ado, we'll have the video presentation on the project impact. Thank you.
Project has three components. Component 1 deals with institutional strengthening and capacity building in renewable energy efficiency. Component 2 deals with supporting the legal and regulatory framework that will facilitate an uptake of renewable energy interventions. Component 3 deals with the investments in renewable energy and energy efficiency at the targeted health facilities. Project install grid-tied solar PV system at 3 of the health facilities: Maypen, National Chest, and Sir John Golden Health Facility. We also install over 5,000 LED lighting solutions at all 6 targeted health facilities.
The impact we expect to gain is the reduction in our electricity bill. That is one of the cost drivers for us. We have been tracking since the installation was completed. And since we were told, so we have started to track and we'll continue to monitor because we expect saving in that area.
We have seen significant gain in terms of 850 megawatt saving per year at an estimated cost of about $40 million. Over the next 3 years, it allows for the contractor to carry out maintenance, and this will be done alongside our internal persons that will allow for capacity building for them to continue this work. We'll be able to monitor our consumption, and this would be done technologically, where operators will be able to monitor it on their cell phone. So to a large extent, this is a very impacting project, and we hope to be able to expand these to other facilities for us to help to see a change in terms of our energy consumption in health facilities.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a very, very impactful project. And again, we want the benefits of this project and the impact to be shared across Jamaica so that the additional projects can be built out. One of the significant benefits of this project, I would say, having been a member of the project board, is the capacity building that this project has had in the healthcare facilities that have benefited, but also in the training programs. And at this point, we're going to have an example of the quality of this project on Jamaica. And we have a young Jamaican who has, for the last many years, taken on the mantle of this project as project manager, capable, competent, committed, and that person is Mr. Tenny Daly, who has served as project manager on this project. And as I said, he's an example of a young Jamaican who has demonstrated that Jamaicans can do excellence. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to invite Mr. Tenny Daly, who has served for the last couple of years as the project manager on this project, to come and give you a presentation on the project. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Tenny Daly.
Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister in the Ministry of Energy, Science, Energy and Technology. Honorable Juliet Cuthbert-Film, State Minister and the Minister of Health and Wellness. Our resident representative from UNDP, Ms. Denise Antonio. Our distinguished guests, good afternoon. The deployment of renewable energy and improvement of energy efficiency project started back in 2016. We aimed at reducing energy bill mainly in the health sector. Recognizing the importance of health and even more the importance of healthcare, it is critical that we reduce energy in the health sector so that those savings can go towards other interventions. The project, funded by the Global Environment Facility at a cost of $1.2 million US. Our project partners include the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and also the Development Bank of Jamaica. We targeted 6 health facilities: National Chest, Surgeon Golding, Mapen Hospital, Black River Hospital, and the Savannah Lamar Hospital. In terms of the project structure, the project had 3 components. Component 1 deals with institutional strengthening and capacity building. Component 2 looks at strengthening the legal and regulatory framework to facilitate an uptake of renewable energy and energy efficiency in Jamaica. Component 3 looks at investigating a public-private partnership mechanism known as the ESCO Energy Service Company model to see how best we can reduce the upfront costs associated with renewable energy and energy-efficient interventions. What the ESCO does, the ESCO will take the risks and assume the upfront costs for the renewable energy systems. And based on the savings that's projected, they'll be paid back out of the savings out of those projects. So it was an innovative mechanism that we sought to investigate. Now to the key results of this project. On the component 1, we increased knowledge in renewable energy and energy efficiency, particularly in the public health sector. We developed recommendations for the establishment of a regulatory system and standards for the provision of training and education in sustainable energy. This was done through partnership with the Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission, who is responsible for upgrading the standards as it relates to tertiary level education. We identified certain gaps that needed to be addressed as it relates to sustainable energy education, mainly the need for more scholarship opportunities in that area, and also the need to upgrade some of the equipment at those lab equipment at those tertiary education institutions. We sensitized more than 80 persons from the health sector in energy management and the importance of renewable energy technologies. Representatives include CEOs, representatives from other regional health authorities, and the maintenance persons from those regional health authorities. We trained 32 maintenance persons from public health facilities in how to operate and how to maintain solar PV systems. This was done through collaboration with Wigton. We utilized their renewable energy lab to train these persons over a 4-day period. And in fact, after the 4-day period, persons wanted another 4 days of training. So it was very well received, and the impact has been significant. We also supported our standards entity, Bureau of Standards Jamaica, as it relates to their energy efficiency testing lab. They are pursuing on becoming a regional energy efficiency testing center. We collaborated with CrossFuel as a CARICOM regional organization for standards and quality. They did a gap assessment of BSJ's capacity to perform as a regional testing center. And out of that gap assessment, we were able to upgrade their lab with equipment valued at US $50,000, as it will boost their efforts to become that national symbol for energy efficiency testing. As it relates to component 2, we supported the legal and regulatory framework as it relates to sustainable energy. We developed draft guidelines for solar PV operations and maintenance. That sort of handbook that operators out in the field can pull on and turn to a specific page to operate or maintain the system. That was missing from, that was a missing piece that we sought to address, that easy guide to go to track maintenance and track performance of the system. We also supported the Bureau of Standards Jamaica in implementing and enforcing a unified set of building codes for designers, regulators, and building industry. As it relates to the ESCO model, while we were not able to achieve the desired results, we achieved other significant results that must be mentioned. We conducted investment-grade energy audits of 6 health facilities that we have targeted. And what it does, it's determined the energy usage for these health facilities, and it recommended energy cost opportunities, energy saving opportunities for these health facilities. So we were able to, from that, we were able to identify the need for solar PV systems, the need for LED lighting. There was also a need for other energy-saving interventions. But we know that we will transfer those reports to the regional health authorities for them to further advance those recommendations. We developed a framework for sustainable energy service company locally. We know that there were certain gaps that needed to be addressed, mainly relating to policy. There was no policy associated with energy service company. So we know that the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology will be pursuing that in the future. We also conducted private sector training for energy service providers who want to become ESCOs. We did ESCO operation financing, measurement and verification training through partnership with the Canadian Institute for Energy Training. That was done virtually and also face-to-face. The participants included the Jamaica Public Service, other private companies, and persons from the Jamaica Society of Energy Engineers. We installed a 75 kilowatt, 83 kilowatt, and 13 kilowatt grid-tied systems, PV systems at May, Penchess, and Sir John Golin. These were valued at a cost of 46 million Jamaican dollars. We installed over 5,000 LED lighting solutions at Sav, Black River, Maypen, Bellevue, Chess, Sir John Golin at a cost of $30 million US. We will be also granting the Western Regional Health Authority over 160 LED bulbs for health clinics that were recommended for retrofit by the Ministry of Health. So we'll be donating those to the Western Regional Health Authority. As it relates to project impact on the health sector, I'm happy to say that the projections for the solar PV and the lighting will impact energy savings, energy reduction in the health facilities. It will also equate to cost savings. So if in the need of hospitals requiring ICU equipment, those cost savings can go towards purchasing those equipment or upgrading the facilities. For the lighting, we know that there will be projected reduction of over 850,000 kilowatt hours per year at a cost saving of 51 million Jamaican dollars. This is being projected over the next 7 years for the LED lighting intervention. As it relates to solar PV, For the grid-type PV systems, we project a reduction of 248,000 kilowatt hours per year at a cost savings of 11.5 million Jamaican dollars. This will be done this is projected over the next 20 years. As Minister Flynn stated, the projected tons of CO2 emissions that will be avoided from the lighting intervention is over 4,700, and for the solar PV is over 3,700. As you can see, the projected savings energy reduction per facility ranges between a high of 43%, that's national chess, percent energy reduction, and 6% reduction based on the interventions that were done. And overall, it's been a 23% reduction is being projected for all 6 health facilities that was retrofitted with LED and solar PV interventions. As it relates to sustainability plans, for maintenance, routine maintenance is ongoing at all 6 health facilities based on the maintenance program that is there already. Through the project, we were able to negotiate a 3-year maintenance program for the solar PV systems, which will go up until mid-2024. And the monitoring of solar PV systems will be done remotely also through the regional health authorities and the maintenance persons on the ground. They are able now to access the system remotely and monitor the performance, monitor the energy generation on a daily basis, and to see how many equate savings are being realized and also how many CO2 emissions are being reduced. The regional health authorities will have oversight for these maintenance programs and monitoring programs. And as it relates to improving the sustainable energy education, the Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission has committed their interest in advancing the recommendations from the assessment that was done to improve tertiary level education in Jamaica as it relates to sustainable energy. Now, on a different note, the key contributors to success, we could not achieve this success today without the support from the beneficiaries. They welcomed the project, they supported the project. When COVID arrived, we were able to work out a schedule to accommodate the implementation so that no aspects were significantly delayed. The partnerships forged with the stakeholders was also critical to the success of this project. The project board members, the project steering committee members, they were able to give technical and sound advice to address issues as they arise. The UNDP's organized, transparent, and flexible project management structure also helped to catalyze the, activities when they were significantly delayed. As noted, hurdles and solutions, in respect of the ESCO, the project was not able to obtain a no objection from the Ministry of Finance and Public Service as relates to the ESCO model, where the Petroleum Corporation Jamaica would have been a super ESCO. Nonetheless, as I mentioned before, we were able to advance other aspects of the ESCO model, mainly the capacity building that was done for both public and private sector entities, and we were able to develop a roadmap for a sustainable ESCO industry. We also had delays in procurement, delays in shipment of materials, delays in implementation of activities due to COVID-19, but as I mentioned before, the support and the coordination from the respective beneficiaries, we were able to advance those activities. And through support of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we were able to extend the project for an additional 8 months in July of last year. Key lessons learned under the project includes the importance of building partnerships with organizations with similar objectives and priorities. Extensive stakeholder consultations is also important. Having flexible modes of meeting should always be considered, and the local and regional collaborations were also critical for successful delivery of training. Again, I want to say special thanks to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, the Development Bank of Jamaica, our project board members, which include the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Finance, PIOJ, DBJ, PSOJ, and the JEF operational focal point in the Ministry of Climate Change, Housing, Urban and Climate Change, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, the Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission, and the public hospitals who benefited from the interventions, and also the regional health authorities. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have another round of applause for Mr. Tenny Daly? Jamaica's future is really very bright. I recall when I joined the project, Tenny was our project assistant, and there he had to step up very quickly to fill the role of project manager and to carry this project through to the finish line. So just to again indicate that Jamaica has really talented people. I mean, we've built the capacity within the health sector. There's been training programs that, and models, projects, programs that have been implemented. We herald certainly the partnership with the UNDP, the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Health. And just to indicate that, the opportunities are there for the taking, that we can build on the successes of this project. At this time, one of the challenges that we have in the energy sector is the financing challenge. And we haven't quite addressed it. We have to accept that. One of the initiatives of this project was to develop a financing mechanism to support projects of this nature called an ESCO model, Energy Service Company model. And at this time, we're going to have a video presentation just outlining what that really is and how it can benefit Jamaica, as it has benefited many other countries across the world, to support the deployment of energy efficiency and renewable energy solutions sustainably. So ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention for this.
The ESCO model, Energy Service Company model, is a unique model to reduce upfront costs associated with renewable energy and energy efficiency interventions. They provide the upfront cost for any renewable energy intervention, thereby reducing the risk of public entities going to access loans to do renewable energy and energy efficiency projects.
If the ESCO market takes off, what will happen is that we will have standardized procedures for private sector interacting with those who need services, and inevitably will reduce the amount of energy Jamaica consumes and massively increase the amount of renewable clean energy that we utilize. So the ESCO industry needs standardization now so that all the players are operating with a clear knowledge of what's required and quality standards. It needs support in projects like UNDP to help consultants, contractors to have information, to have the tools that they require to provide the contracts required and to deliver quality standards.
Under the project, we conducted training for public and private sector entities in ESCO operation, ESCO creation, ESCO financing. We also included measurement and verification, which is a key element in establishing an ESCO industry in Jamaica.
This current UNDP project has provided tools like Red Screen for determination of viability of projects. It has provided training and understanding in measurement and verification. So we're talking about quality assessment and analysis. And it has provided understanding for the clients of what they should expect from a good ESCO. And also it has provided the energy performance contract, which is very important in standardizing the expectation between the client and the provider.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, another substantial solution that can be deployed to support our energy in Jamaica, our adoption of energy in Jamaica. So At this time, we come to the end of today's proceedings. And for me, I really think of it as the beginning of another chapter. It has been a very impactful and successful project. It has demonstrated partnership for the goals, which is one of our SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. We've supported climate action, we've supported health, we've supported affordable and clean energy. So there are so many benefits that this project has had. And significantly, as I said, it's the beginning. It gives us an opportunity to build on what has been done. You've heard that there has been significant capacity. Persons have been trained. There are energy managers in our hospitals who are capable of maintaining the systems. We've trained persons on the potential financing mechanisms, such as the ESCO model. So there are so many benefits that this project has had that will go way beyond the $54 million per year in savings, which accumulated over the 10 years is $500 million Jamaican dollars in savings. So we want to thank everyone for participating in this program today. Again, we thank the Minister, the Honorable Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Honorable Daryl Vaz, for being here with us. The Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Juliet Flynn Cuthbert. Thank you. Cuthbert Flynn. Mrs. Denise Antonio, Resident Representative of the UNDP, Mr. Tenny Daly, the Project Manager, the regional representatives, the regional directors of the health facilities across Jamaica, the CEOs of the hospitals and health facilities, all the project partners, the Development Bank of Jamaica, the Ministry of Energy, the PCJ. We thank you and encourage you to build on this. The media that has been here, we are very grateful for your participation. We encourage you to share these stories, because it's not the 500 million that will make the impact. It's the stories that we tell that will inspire others to implement and take that on. So with those words, I encourage you to remain healthy. Let's keep building our energy and creating that nexus between health, energy, and so many other sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming, and do have a wonderful evening. Thank you.